Doing stuff just to get it done with. That was never my philosophy, I would say. I'm one of those who likes to do stuff for a reason. Don't want to do stuff pointlessly. And recently, my wife told me to seal the rest of the flooring. I mean, I already used up the good sealer, and the rest of the stuff is junk, so why would I buy up some junk $8 sealer and do a job that doesn't hold up over time? Have to clean the grout lines again and do all the work, and I didn't want to really put much work into it. And she didn't want to spend extra money. And so, what? Are we at an impasse? Well, I just ended up doing it just to get it over with. And I thought that was a bad thing, but now I'm thinking about it more, and I'm thinking maybe it's not. It does seem silly that there's so much stuff we do in our world that is meaningless or pointless, right? We do it all day long, and we just have to do some of these things to get through and do what we need to do, right? I mean, I always thought of the US as better than a place, say, like India, where a lot of stuff you do is pointless and meaningless and stupid, but you gotta do it because that's the way to get through. Because stuff often doesn't work the first time around. I remember at the train station trying to use a token. Didn't work on the subway. Went back, exchange it. Didn't work. Exchange it. Didn't work. The guy didn't say anything, he just exchanged it. Finally, I said, one guy, could you just come here with me and check how it doesn't work? He confirmed it doesn't work because they thought I was just stupid. And then went back, and then the guy's like, oh, here. I was like, no, 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 no. There's something wrong. You just keep giving me new tokens, but it's not working. He checked it. It's like, when did you buy this? Oh, a week ago? It only lasts for like a few days. Who designed this stupid system? But this is how you figure out things and how you get things working. And I thought the US is more streamlined. You don't have all these stupid things to do. Paperwork is stupid. I hate doing it. But I guess sometimes you need it to get to your goal. Or getting my wife off my back and saying I sealed the grout makes her psychologically feel better. And it'll work for probably, a few months, a year. But long term, should have gone with the more expensive stuff and put more time into it. But I didn't want to do that, and she didn't want to do that either. I have a friend, a good friend from childhood, who is a very intelligent man, maybe the most intelligent I've ever met, just in terms of raw IQ. He didn't like to do stuff pointlessly, though, and that was his problem. He didn't do well in school because apparently he didn't do homework. And then in high school, didn't get into the AP classes because, well, you need to have grades, and for those you need homework. So he just decided, I'll just study the book myself and pass the test, and he got a 5 on his calculus test just reading the book for a month. Brilliant guy. But he goes to college, and apparently in college you don't have homework in the sense of homework papers, but you have all this other stuff you're supposed to do, like projects. A lot of stuff was stupid to him. He didn't want to do silly things. I completely understand. It's a waste of your time. But somehow you just have to do these things to get by, even though it has no practical value. We all know that learning for a test many times has no real life implications. But yet we got to study for the test and learn all these silly things anyways, right? That's the way life is. Right, in medical school, we learn all these esoteric diseases that most people will never see. Pneumocystis jirovecii pneumonia. Most people will never see it. Some of us do see it. Almost everybody, now I say 99% of people that do see it don't diagnose it. So there is no point learning about this in school because people will miss it, right? But the thing is, we got to learn this because the test asks you about these rare diseases that most of us will never see, like porphyria. And why? Well, I mean, I don't know why. It's stupid, but it doesn't matter. It's still on the test. So if you want to pass the test, you want to get onto residency, then you better do it. And you spend all this energy, or I do, fighting and saying it's stupid and just putting it off, when you might as well just do it, get it over with, even though it's a waste of your time, but it's easier than fighting, right? And I think that's the pragmatic thing to do. And for engineers, right, we're always known to be fighting for what's best, what's right. And our boss wants to cut costs, speed up the development process, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you just have to give in to get it done and get on with it and move on in life, right? Just do it so you can move on. Which is a sad reality, but the reality that we live in.